Hey guys, DJ Killer Keemstar here. Today we're going to be doing a hot video on false cuts you could do in a table. So if you guys like false cuts, make sure to subscribe and do all the things that people do on videos. But obviously if they're going to be tabled false cuts, we're going to need to be in a table. So let's go there now. What? It worked? I finally did that basic vlogger shit where you cover the camera and you end up somewhere else. Oh my goodness. Wait, how the fuck did I get back here? So here's the cut tutorial. I'm sure you guys wanted to see. So it's gonna be 5 different false cuts that you guys could do at a table. They'll hopefully step your magic game up to the next level. So the first one here is going to be a very standard run-of-the-mill cut. So here we have the ace of spades on top of the deck. Now, of course, we cut this card to the middle in a very fair fashion. However, guess what? That card stays on top. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So here, all we're doing is a swing cut, false cut. And the way this is done, we're going to hold the cards in the right hand in this middle grip sort of position. We're going to get into the swing cut. We're going to transfer this upper packet to the left hand. We're going to tap this packet, which is now the lower half. We're going to tap this packet to the left hand only briefly. You're not doing a drum solo. It's just a little bit of a scoring action. And you're going to drop these cards on the table. Then you're going to take these cards and drop it. Now, another hot tip on this is to do it so that the cards drop in a sort of staggered fashion. This adds to the illusion that there's actually a cut taking place. However, we know nothing's happening. So that, of course, leaves the ace of spades and the rest of the deck in the exact order. So let's leave the card face up so you guys see how that looks like. Next one is another false cut in a similar sense. This one is by Gary Ouellette out of Canada. Unfortunately, he's passed away since, but it's still a great false cut, even if he's dead, I guess. So this false cut looks a little bit like this. Another fair sort of one cut technique where we just cut the cards, we have them in our hand, and we apparently cut the cards without any sort of apparent sleight of hand. But in that, of course, the ace of spades and the rest of the deck is retained on top. So the mechanics of this is going to be very similar to the Hindu shuffle, and it's pretty much the same thing as a swing cut, false cut. The only difference is that we're pulling the cards from the back. So the way this is done, we're just going to grab the lower half and pull it underneath the deck. We're going to tap the cards as we put that on the table, just squaring it up. Now here's the little bit of the selling point for this particular false cut. Instead of grabbing it from the bottom, you're going to grab it from the top. So you're going to rotate your right hand and you're going to grab it from the top and put it on top in a staggered way. That's what sells the cut. Now ordinarily, I've seen this cut done like this. However, Gary Ouellette, he added that little bit of a twist to it that just gives it one more action and a little bit more of an illusion of the hot false cut. So in action, it just looks like you're taking the deck and you're giving it a quick cut. But if you see, we have the ace of spades on top of the deck. We do the mechanics of the cut, and we notice that that card has stayed there the entire time. Oh yeah, man. The next false cut is the JOC false cut. So this one looks a little bit like this. We have the cards cut to the table, and of course, in reclaiming the packets, that has successfully completed the false cut. So we have the ace of spades still on top, and the rest of the deck is still precisely in the same order that it was originally in. So the way we do this, funny enough, this is one of those false cuts that if you do it the way it's supposed to be, it looks false. Let me show you what I mean there. We'll take the ace of spades out. So this is how the false cut is done. You're doing it from left to right. However, if you do the false cut and actually generally cut the deck, it just looks like you're replacing the deck back to how it was. You see the hotness here? So this is the real cut. That actually legitimately cuts the deck. This doesn't do diddly squat. It just leaves the deck in the exact same order. So the mechanics for this, you're going to cut about 1/3 of the deck and put it towards the left. You're going to cut another 1/3 of the deck. You're going to put it in the middle. You're going to grab the remaining cards in your hand. And guess what? Put them on the right. Now, you're going to grab this left packet and put it on top of this middle packet. You're going to grab this middle packet, put it on top of that left packet, and you have successfully completed this tabled JOC false cut. There's a lot of different variants on this. I know John Carey is a great resource for material using this cut. Benjamin Earl has another fantastic subtlety using this cut that I will not be teaching because it's his. So look them up if you guys want some further instruction on this cut. But it's a very easy, very convincing false cut. And you could even lead the spectator to do the actions for you. So you have the spectator hold the cards in their hand. You tell them to cut off a packet and put it over here. Cut off another packet, put it over here. Cut off another packet, put it over there. And then have them replace the cut. And guess what? You have successfully caused the spectator to do a full deck false cut while they think that they're doing something. But they're not really doing anything, which technically you're not either, because you're doing a card trick. Card tricks, they don't matter. Card tricks don't matter. Here's another false cut that you see done by pretty much every magician. This is the Frank Thompson false cut. It looks a little bit like that. Again, it's a triple packet false cut to the table. So at speed, it should just look like you're cutting a set of cards to the table, and that's pretty much it. So the way we do this particular false cut, we're going to swing cut about a third of the deck into our left hand. We're going to swing cut another third of the deck into the left hand. But guess what? This time, we retain a pinky break. We're putting a pinky break in there so hard that the packet says, man, I've never experienced a pinky break that hard. So that's what you're doing there. Let's get the focus. Oh yeah, so now that you've done those first two actions, you drop this packet on the table, you grab everything above the break, drop that on that packet, and then grab everything in the left hand and drop it. What that's done is nothing. It's nothing. So we'll keep this card face up. One more time, you swing a third of the deck to the left hand. You swing another third of the deck to the left hand. You're going to drop this packet on the table. You're going to grab everything above the break, drop that on the table, and then drop that on the table, successfully completing this false cut. Now, this could be done in a multiple sort of sense. So you don't only have to do it once. So in this case, after you're in this position, you could lift up everything above the packet again, swing cut it one more time, keeping a break. And you could do this ad infinitum until you have run out of cards to just make it look like you're cutting packets of cards on the table. So the way that would look like with the card face down is just like this. So that is the same action as the Frank Thompson false cut. The only difference is you're adding just a little bit more of an action there. So that makes it that much more convincing. The last one here, it's a tabled false shuffle, very similar to an up the ladder sort of cut. However, this cut looks a little bit like that. So here, all you've done is you've done a triple cut to the deck, supposedly just all on the table. However, guess what? Doesn't do anything. There's nothing happening here. Oh yeah. So the way this is done, we're going to have the packet of cards on the table. We're going to have a little bit of an upward bend on this. That usually helps when you have cards on the table, so that when you lift it up, you're not having this situation where you lift up the deck and one card stays and you look like a doofus. That happens all the time. A hot tip to fix that, just give the deck a little bit of an upward bevel. Works all the time, works every time, all the time. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to grab about a third of the deck from the bottom and put it on top of the deck. However, about half an inch towards the right. So you notice you're in this sort of situation right now. You see that? So all I've done is I've grabbed about a third of the deck from the bottom and put it on top. However, I've left a very noticeable step in the cards. You see the hotness? So now what's going to happen, we're going to grab another third from the bottom and put it squared with this half that we just put stepped towards the right. Now we're going to grab everything, all these this little fat block. We're going to put it in front of us. Then we're going to grab what's remaining and drop it on top. So all in all, what that does is that you have done the illusion of a triple cut. However, you haven't done anything because we see the ace of spades is on top. So one more time, we grab a third of the deck, put it on top, step towards the right. Grab another third, put it on top, step towards the right. And now you're grabbing everything, putting it on the table, grabbing everything that's remaining, put it on top. So that keeps the ace of spades on top. If you want a little bit of a variant on this cut, is you do the same actions until this point. When you get to this point, you could square everything up, so you could let go with this hand and show that it's just an ordinary deck, of course keeping a break with your thumb. Now, I just lift everything above the break in front of me, take this remaining half, which is the original top, and put that on top. So what this looks like in action, it should just look like you're giving the deck a little bit of a cut. However, we know it's not doing anything at all. So there you guys have 5 false cuts to a table that are fairly easy to do, very convincing, and one could even be done by the spectator himself. Oh boy, man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's inside. If you guys like basic beginner stuff, I have a card academy open on Patreon. If you guys go to my Patreon page, you should see it, where I teach you guys all the way from the beginning to expert level card magic, so that you too could be the life of the party. That's the shilling portion. I'm gonna go figure out different ways to ingest a Tinkles Rick and Morty mystery Funko Pop, and hopefully excrement a Ghost in a Jar Rick and Morty mystery Funko Pop.
When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.